wanting to do that.
Let me stop you. And I hope everybody understands this. If we can't get rid of Obamacare, Illinois is in a lot of trouble right now financially, as are a lot of states, because of our pension problems, because of a lot of things, but principally Medicaid. Understand what's going to happen, guys. If we don't get rid of Obamacare, the game plan is to throw everybody on the Medicaid rolls. Our Medicaid rolls in Illinois will double or triple within 3 to 4 years. You think we're in trouble financially now? Wait for 2 or 3 years. I got a doctor in the house, John. Take it over. Hey, doc, a pine on anything, briefly.
I saw some statistics about a year ago, and some new statistics came to light, and I'm going to share them with you. The latest Census Bureau data, 50 million people now are uninsured. I'm rounding that up. Those numbers were somewhat skewed because they counted people who had health insurance they didn't know they had it. Medicaid, they weren't paying for it, they didn't have it. They didn't have it. Counted people who were eligible but didn't sign up. 30% of those people, which is 15 million, lost the insurance temporarily. Half of those people lost for less than 4 months. That's 15 million. We're down to 35 million people uninsured. 9 million make between 50 and 75,000 a year. I bet a lot of those people could afford health care if they choose to. Another 9 million make more than $75,000 a year. They could afford it if they choose to. So, should we subtract 18 from that remaining 35? No, let's just subtract 10. Let's be conservative. 25. 10 million are undocumented immigrants. Let's subtract them. But doctor, we still have to pay for them. Let's put that number aside for a minute. We're down to 15. 19 million people are from the ages of 18 and 34. They're healthy. They don't need it. And a new study came out said that half the country, half the population of the United States uses 3% of the total health care dollars. So it's a safe gamble for them not to have health insurance. Should we subtract 19 from 15? No, we get negative numbers. Should we subtract anything? No, because some of those people are counted in the 50,000. Let's just not subtract them at all.
You're losing me. Get to the point.
Remember that 10 million undocumented aliens? Put them back in the equation. Let's come back up to 25,000. Now I can get to my point. Remember a couple of months ago, the CBO said, hey, Obamacare is going to cost more than they expected. Remember? In the same report, they stated, under Obamacare, there will be between, this is Obamacare during its best years, 26 and 27 million people without health insurance.
Under Obamacare.
Why are we doing this? We're starting a healthcare system that has about the same amount of people uninsured. We're forcing people who don't need health insurance to have health insurance. And we're making people who don't want it pay for it. And it's basically going to drive people away who need it away from it.
Thank you, doctor. Hey, quickly, let me go through something. Forget for a second. Put your hand down, because this will be longer in a minute, and then it'll come to you, because I love that smile. Forget for a second how we passed it 3.5 years ago. Think about what we know now. Think about what we know about Obamacare now. We know the public still doesn't like it. In fact, they like it less now than they did when we passed it. We know because every small business owner tells us it's the biggest single government thing holding them back from creating jobs. We know it's going to bankrupt us. We know it. And every month a new estimate comes out that tells us it's going to cost us more. We know most states don't want it. In fact, a lot of states aren't going to participate if they can. This one kills me. Obamacare. I wonder if even Obama scratches his head at this one. I just passed the greatest bill. 3 years later, I've granted over 2,000 waivers to people, organizations, states, and unions, and corporations to exempt them from from even participating in it. Now, why would you do that if it's such a great thing? The chief actuary of Medicaid has told us it is going to flood Medicaid rolls. Premiums, we now know, and by the way, guys, this estimate will go up, are going to be $20,000 for a family of 4 by the year 2016. Oh, here's one they don't like to talk about. Obamacare, read my lips, seniors. Obamacare will decimate Medicare.
That's correct.
Obamacare will destroy Medicare. To fund Obamacare, they're going to take money from Medicare. They're going to remove seniors from Medicare Advantage. If you're on Medicare Advantage, say goodbye. The name of the game is to put everybody on Medicare, on Medicaid. And even Democrats in Washington have voted with us a few times to repeal some of the parts of it that even they say, oh my God, I can't believe we did it. 60 to 80 million Americans. Here's another one of Obama's lies. If you like your health care, you can keep it. Now we get it. Now we know. We know 60 to 80 million Americans, and that's just the start, are going to be tossed off of their employer-based health care. Guys, this is not complicated. We complicate things in politics. We complicate things in life. Let me be really simplistic. Obama's aim is to put everybody on government-run health care. My God, that's not complicated. Now, you know what? There are people in this country who genuinely believe in that. There are people around the world who love government-run health care. He's not honest enough. I'll look in the camera. President Obama is not honest enough with the American people to tell us that's what his aim is. That's exactly what I wish that President Obama had the courage to stand here with me and defend government-run health care, single payer, because that's what he wants, but he doesn't have the courage to do that. It's not a tax. Ma'am, I promised you one over there. Where are you? Right there. John, right here. Oh, hey, I got something funny, though, real quick. Give her the mic. Give her the mic, John. This will take 10 seconds. I was just handed this one. Hey, remember, guys? It's too short now. We got to say what we believe. If you want the government to take care of your health from birth to death, expect the distance between the two to be much shorter.
I too am a physician. I don't know if many of you are aware, and I'm an older physician. Back in the good old days, physicians could charge what they wanted and write off what they wanted. Today, I have to face fraud if I charge less than Medicare. I am aware of the plight of my patients, but it's not worth going to jail. Welcome to the death panels. They are truly here. No longer can I order a preventative test for my patients. I have to wait until any idiot could diagnose the clinical disease. And guess what? Then it's too late.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So I asked my doctor and physician friends very squarely, Obamacare will forever, ever, ever change your relationship with your parents. Patience. I don't know what your parents were like. And I don't want to get distracted. Obamacare will forever change your relationship with your parents. Patience. What are you prepared to do to stop it? What are you prepared to do? I promised right there.
Folks, I'll tell you, my name is Steve Beeman. I'm chairman of the Steve Beeman Group, and I only tell you that for this reason, and I want to speak directly to the President of the United States. At 23 years old, I was bankrupt. I had no college degree. I was evicted from my apartment. I had no medical care, and I broke down one day and found a quarter so I could eat. I vowed that day to never stop learning, and never give up. By 39 years old, I was worth many millions of dollars through the building and sale of a company that I started. This election, and Joe knows I've gotten involved because of this, I have 6 children. I will die before I take away from them the right to live the life I've lived, to go from nothing to something. I've won and I've lost, and that is what it's about for me, because my 6 children exist.
Hey, 2 quick points. To this man's point, to Steve Beeman's point. Because this country was founded upon freedom, this has always been the most innovative, entrepreneurial, energetic, hardworking, inventive country in the world. Only in America, like no other place in the world, can you come up with an idea for water in a bottle. Somebody did this. And you know, you're thinking about this day after day. You design a bottle, you're in your basement, you make a few of them, you go out there on the sidewalk, you sell a few, it's a big hit, people love water in a bottle, you hire people, you open up a warehouse, and away you go. Always in this country you could do that. Entrepreneurship right now in America is at the lowest it's been in 40 years. 40 years. Let's go. Anybody in the way back? Way back, John. That gentleman right up there, I think he's in a striped shirt. No, he's not. It's a nice looking shirt. Yes, sir. Oh, beautiful. It is a striped shirt. God bless you.
Thank you. Joe,
Congressman, you.
Mr.
I love saying that. You can call me anything.
You know, a lot of these points are very valid points. What goes through my mind is, what should you and the other Republicans and Romney do now in response to what's just happened? What's the best way to handle it?
Here's what we should do.
Get out and vote.
Here's what we should do. We should turn to the American people and we should say, it's up to you. Here's what I believe when it comes to health care. Here's what the President believes. The President believes in government-run health care. I want market-based, patient-based health care. Here are the things I believe in. And you know what, guys? Nothing's going to happen between now and November. That's what Romney should say. Romney should say, look at you and look at you and look at you and say, it's up to you. It's really easy. You decide. We knew Republicans met a lot before the ruling for the last month or 2, and there were a lot of Republicans that wanted to come out right away after the ruling with a piece of legislation, right away with our specific principles. But most of us just felt, no, here's what we should do, no matter how the court rules. Step 1, no matter what they said, was repeal Obamacare. Step 2 is, here's what we believe in. If you elect us, here's what will happen with health care. If you elect the President and Tammy Duckworth and Nancy Pelosi, here's what's going to continue to happen with health care. And you know what? You just leave it up to the American people. Guys, look, you know enough about me to know that I truly believe this country, thank God, is going through a revolution. We're having a fight about that flag. There are enough of us that cry every night because we're losing freedom that we've gotten up off our butts and we took a step in 2010 and you sent Republicans to Washington, not because you love Republicans, but because you were so scared with what the President and Pelosi and the Democrats were doing. And I tell my Republican colleagues every week in Washington, they don't love you. They don't love us. The American people don't love us. Right now, you're the only one standing at the door stopping Obama from running all over us. It's not that we love you. We Republicans, until you get up